One of the things we do at the Seder is this Matzah maror sandwich called the korech. On the Seder table, on the Seder plate, there's an additional maror, additional bitter herbs that we're going to use later on to put in the sandwich and eat it together. What is the significance? What is the lesson in the Matzah maror sandwich? We've eaten matzah, we've eaten maror. Why do we need them to combine them? So apart from the halachic explanations, there's a very powerful message in putting them together. We first eat them separately and then together for the following reason. Matzah and maror represent two very different things. Matzah, which is a symbol of freedom, represent our strengths, our spiritual strengths. Maror, which is bitter, can also be a symbol of our weaknesses. We all know that we have strengths and we have weaknesses. We have things we do well, things we progress in, and things that we fall and we fail and we don't do very well. We all have rough parts of our personalities. We all have good and strong parts of our personalities. We have matzah, we have maror. Before we can grow, we need to identify what those are. We need to know what the matzah is. We need to know what the maror is. We need to know those things we do well, and we eat the matzah separately. We need to identify our weaknesses, which is why we eat the maror separately. But we also have to understand the following. Our weaknesses are not intrinsically bad. Things that we have in our personality that might express themselves negatively can be channeled, can be transformed, can be harnessed to work with our strengths and actually be used in a positive direction. So on the Seder night, we go through the process and we do what it takes to prepare ourselves to grow spiritually, to go out of our comfort zone, to take the next step to freedom, to spiritual freedom. We eat matzah to identify what those strengths are. We eat maror to be able to identify what our weaknesses are, to know what we need to fix, to know where we need to grow. But then we put them together so the strong parts of who we are can inspire and harness the weak parts of our personality, transform it and elevate it and train it so that every part of us can be used in that journey of freedom. We know that when we say the Shema every day, there's a sentence that says, V'ahavta et Hashem Elokecha b'chol levavcha. God says you shall love God with all your heart. But in Hebrew, your heart can be said as the word libcha with one letter bait. But in the Torah it says it levavcha with a double letter of the letter base. The reason is, the Talmud says, because we have two sides of who we are. We have two inclinations. We have the good and the negative. We have the Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. God wants us to serve Him with every part of our being. Every part of who we are, how were we created, can be used in a positive way. We just need to channel it and train it and elevate it and refine it. So once we've identified the weaknesses, then we need to put it together with the strengths. We need to put the body together with the soul, the weaknesses together with the strengths. So it's all harnessed together and becomes a powerful energy towards the journey of spiritual growth.